When I was working in my full-time role, it would have been possible to go out to something every night of the week to do something. So it was important to be quite focused and to attend events where you were likely to meet, in the case of when I was still working full-time, potential clients and not other consultants chasing those same clients. And then when I move on to my non-exec career and networking as me, it's a similar approach in terms of being quite targeted about what you go to. Because when I started out, I went to events which were very enjoyable, but they were full of other people like me looking for roles and jobs, not people who might lead me to work. What did work for me was going to events, initially going to events that the search firms ran, because there you would have the opportunity to meet not only other, obviously, potential candidates, but also you start to become known by the search firms. And occasionally you would meet people at those events who were looking for people and using those for networking themselves, for looking for people. There were other events that I went to that were primarily aimed at education, non-executive director certificates, and those were fine for that purpose, but not really for meeting people who might lead you to opportunities. Once I became a bit more established as a NED, I started to be invited to award ceremonies for non-executive director of the year for various companies. And that was much more effective because you would definitely then work within the peer group where you were likely to meet chairman or other non-executives. And so those became much more important to me as time went on. But you kind of have to be in the network to get onto those events. I think it's important to have thought about what is going to interest the people you're hoping to meet, and to think about what company they might be in, to have something relevant to say about their company or their sector, to think about where you might focus the conversation. You might start with just what's going on in politics. You might start with what's happening to the FTSE that day. But I think it has to be quite business focused, and then sort of lead the people into, because I think you can only do the small talk for so long. Nobody's there to talk about their holidays. So it has to be, while you might do a little bit of that and, it was a difficult journey and isn't it a hot day, you do quickly then have to get onto something that's got some content. And I think that is, again, about thinking about the audience and what's going to interest them. If you're going to an event where you know it's going to be a lot of other wannabe NEDs, you can get something out of that. Obviously, you will find out what experiences other people have had. But I think it's really about being focused on why you're there. And some of those events I went to in the beginning, which was a lot of other people like me, one of the things when I realized, okay, I'm not going to get somebody I'm not going to get a job out of this. But what you do get out of those kind of events, I think, is sharing experiences and finding out what other people have done, so that then you can think, oh, well, that's good. And I have actually sometimes struck a rapport with people at those kind of events, and they're full, their portfolio is full, but they might offer to introduce you to somebody else. Because one of the things that I think is important with the networking with the recruitment firms is, even if you're not interested, to try to find somebody to recommend. Even if it doesn't go anywhere, you've kind of done them a favor in terms of their search. So I did get something out of the ones, even if they were just other people like me. But again, I think my main tip is really about make sure you know and make sure you thought about what you're going to get out of it.